Hello guys, welcome back to this course for SAP High Availability at Application and Database Layer using SUSE Cluster. So far we have learned about High Availability SLA, what is SAP Application Cluster Architecture looks like, how you perform your SAP installation under clustered environment. We also covered what are the post installation steps for SAP Application Cluster, and in this slide we are going to see the test cases that you have to perform to make sure that your cluster is working completely fine. In this slide I have shown only one test case, but we are going to discuss all the test cases are referring to the same architecture. So let's start. As a test one, what you have to do, there is a command called SAP control -nr instance number function HA failover check config. You have to run it on both the nodes and see the result if you are getting all the checks as green. If yes, then it means like it is working completely fine. Currently I do not have any screenshot. We will be seeing these test cases in the demonstration part in detail. All right, so as your test case 2, you have to see if you are able to perform the manual failover using the cluster command or using the cluster functions properly on both the nodes or not. So the command for that is SAP control -nr instance number function HA fail over to node and here you have to give the host name. Let's say you are executing this command on node 1 where your ASCS instance is running and the instance number for ASCS is 01. So when you will be running this command, you will follow as SAP control -nr 01 function HA failover to node, and the host name will be the next node, the other node. Let's say here it is SAP HA1 ERS. This is your node. So once you run this command, ASCS is going to move to the node 2 using a manual command. The same test you have to perform on the node 2 as well for your ERS services. Let's say your ERS instance number is 10. So the command will be looking like SAP control -nr 10 function HA fail over to node host name. Here this is the ERS instance number and the host name will be the node 1 where you want to move the ERS. So these are the two test cases that we discussed so far. In the next test case, you have to see what happens when you stop your services manually. Okay, so let's say if your ASCS is running on node 1 and your ERS is running on node 2. This is the current case. Sorry, not this one. Your current case is your ASCS is running here and your ERS is running here, and you stop your ASCS manually using SAP control command. You hit the stop command. What will happen? It is going to stop your services and no action will be performed from the cluster because your SAP control take precedence over the cluster. So ideally this should only happen because whenever you are doing some manual stop, cluster should not take any action, and it should let the services to stop without impacting any. So cluster is smart enough, it is intelligent enough to know that when you're running it manually, it does not have to take any step. So that is going to be your result for this test case. Also, when you perform a manual step for ERS at node 2, the same result will happen. It will stop the services locally, it will not perform any failover. So that is going to be your test case 3. As your test case 4, let's say you stop, or let's say you reboot your node 1. I'm hitting a reboot command on node 1 where your ASCS instance is running. What should be the ideal behavior of the cluster? It should immediately restart your services, or you move your services from node 1 to node 2. Let's say your ASCS was running here. As soon as you reboot, ASCS services will move to node 2 and it will start there. And what will be the subsequent steps? Once node 1 is back, ERS is going to move to node 1, and your application again will be starting from here to here. Alright, as a test case 4, let's say the same thing you have to test it on node 2 as well. When your ASCS is running here and your ERS is running here, you will be shutting down or rebooting the node 2 and see if the failover is smooth from node 2 to node 1. Your ASCS services should move seamlessly from this to this node, and again your ERS replication should start from node 1 to node 2. Let's say AS is moved to this node, and once your node 2 is back, ERS came back here, and the replication again should be enabled from ASCS to ERS. So once it happens, we will be moving to next test case, that is once one moment. Yeah, I think we have already covered most of the test cases. I'm just saying. Right. Yeah, I missed one test case, that is SAP control -nr instance number HA get failover config. This command you have to execute on both the nodes and see the result. If it is green, it's fine. Otherwise, it should be having the information of both the virtual host names, and that these are online and it's working fine. If you do not get the correct information, you have to recheck your configuration or the post cluster configuration step that you performed. If there is something missing, you have to redo it and run this command again to make this test case successful. So that's how we have covered all the test cases on application cluster, and with this slide we have completed the application cluster or let's say the SAP application high availability using SUSE cluster. In the upcoming slides, we will be seeing the high availability at a database end using SUSE cluster, and at the end we are also going to see the demonstration of both the clusters, application and database cluster. Thank you.